Hi, my name is Lisa. I'm a children's librarian in the mountains of North Carolina, and today I'm going to be doing a letter S story time for you that you can enjoy from the comfort of your own home when you can't actually make it to the public library for a story time. And I want you to also know that in the description below this video, I'm going to be linking to over an hour's worth of books that have been read online that you can take advantage of as part of our story time. So to start with, when I begin a letter story time, I always like to show you what the letter looks like. So the capital and lowercase letter S look exactly the same. The capital letter is a little bit larger than the lowercase letter. So we're going to put that right here as reference for the rest of our story time. So now we talk about the fact that letters make sounds just like animals do. Do you know what the sound is that letter S makes? It can make the sound S. Now, letters are a lot like animals. If you've ever thought about it, a dog, what sound does a dog make? That's right, it barks. Woof, woof. But what sound would a dog make if he was sad? Yeah. What sound would a dog make if you were trying to take his bone away from him? He might growl. So that one dog could make 3 sounds. And letters are like that sometimes. Some letters can make more than one sound, and letter S is like that. And I'm going to show you an example of that in just a little bit. But for now, I want you to only be thinking about the sound S. And I'm going to give you clues to words that start with that sound, and we're going to build a puzzle together, all right? So the first word that I want you to be thinking about, this is something that you will help keep you clean, and your mom might say to you, before you eat dinner, you need to go wash your hands with S. Did you guess soap? Good job. All right, the next word that I want you to guess, be very careful and listen to my whole clue, all right? Because this is something that would be in the sky at night, and it rhymes with car. Did you think of star? Good job. Star. The next word that I want you to guess is, this is something that you would wear on your feet to help keep your feet warm. Now you might have said shoes, and you would be right. That starts with the letter S, but when S and H are together, they bump into each other and make a lot of racket, and so people have to say shh when S and H are together. So shoes doesn't make the S sound. So there's something you wear inside your shoes to keep your feet warm, and it rhymes with fox. Socks. Good job. All right, the next word that I want you to guess, this is something that is in the sky during the daytime, and it helps keep us warm. Did you guess sun? All right, the next word that I want you to guess is an animal. It's black and white, and it is very stinky. Phew. Very stinky. Do you know what animal that would be that starts with S? Did you guess skunk? All right, there's our skunk. The next word I want you to guess is something you would use to cut paper with. Did you guess scissors? Okie dokie. And here's our last word. This is an animal that slithers in the grass. Did you guess snake? All right. What did we make with our puzzle? We made the shape of letter S. Now I made this puzzle out of clip art and word art, but I'm going to link in the video description to a digital download for every letter of the alphabet. I think it's about $4. You can either get it in color or you can get it in black and white, and that way you could color your own puzzle. But you could also just take a piece of paper, cut out a large shape of letter S, cut it up into puzzle pieces and draw your own pictures on your own puzzle. So think about that. So now in a regular story time, we would go from this activity to reading a book that had a letter S in the title. So I've got one book right here called Spoon by Mary Krauss Rosenthal, and I would ask you to find the letter S in the title. And there it is, Spoon, Spoon. Another book that I wanted to show you is The Seals on the Bus. Now, this does have a word that starts with letter S, and that would be seals. But let's count how many letter S's we see in the title of this book, all right? There's 1, there's 2, and there's 3. 3 letter S's in the title of this book. I did want to point out that at the end of this book, the S makes the sound of Z. Seals. Seals. When a word is plural, an S usually makes a sound of Z. So I just wanted to give you that little tip. All right, so the reason I showed you these 2 books is because often I would read these books in a letter S story time at the library. But I wanted you to know that if you live within the Appalachian Regional Library System, you can check both of these out on NC Kids Digital. So with using your student lunch number. So I'm going to link to a tutorial on how to do that, and that will be in the video description as well. But if you're not part of the Appalachian Regional Library system, I have also linked to an hour's worth of other read alouds that have a letter S in the title so that you can enjoy some stories as part of this letter S story time. So if you want to, you can pause this video now, listen to a story, and then come back for some other activities. Or you can wait till the end of this video and then just, take a half an hour or an hour to listen to stories. Either way. Well, if you went and listened to a story, read aloud that was linked in the video below, I hope you enjoyed it. And now we're going to do another activity that would be part of a letter S story time. So I'm sure you're familiar with the song, The Itsy Bitsy Spider, and spider starts with letter S, but we're going to sing it a little bit differently. So can you see this? What does this guy look like? Does he look frightened? He looks a little bit scared. We're going to use that to remind us scared starts with letter S, and we're going to try to sing the Itsy Bitsy Spider as if we were scared. All right, so get your Itsy Bitsy Spider ready. Here we go. Get frightened. The Itsy Bitsy Spider went up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. Oh no, out came the sun and dried up all the rain. And the Itsy Bitsy Spider went up the spout again. All right, that's just silly, isn't it? And silly starts with letter S. How about, what does this guy look like? Ooh, he looks angry. Do you think you can do the Itsy Bitsy Spider like you were really angry? Get your Itsy Bitsy Spider ready and get mad about something. Here we go. The Itsy Bitsy Spider went up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. Out came the sun and dried up all the rain, and the Itsy Bitsy Spider went up the spout again. All right, how about this one? Oh, he's sad. Does that sound like it starts with the letter S? I think so. All right, get your spider ready and think about something really sad. Are you ready? The Itsy Bitsy Spider went up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. Out came the sun and dried up all the rain. And the Itsy Bitsy Spider went up the spout again. All right, well, let's finish with a smile. All right, think about something happy, and we'll sing the Itsy Bitsy Spider the way it's really meant to be sung. All right, here we go. The Itsy Bitsy Spider went up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. Out came the sun and dried up all the rain, and the itsy bitsy spider went up the spout again. Good job. So a book that I've linked to as a read aloud below this video, in the video description, is Eric Carle's The Very Busy Spider. And I wanted to suggest something that you could do as you listen to that story. So as you're listening to the story, there will be different animals like this. Nay, nay, said the horse. Want to go for a ride? The spider didn't answer. She was very busy spinning her web. So as you listen to that story, you could go find some string in your house. It could be shoelaces, it could be yarn, it could be dental floss. And although I'm doing this on a board, you can just do this on the carpet. So every time that the narrator turns the page and talks about a different animal, you can repeat with the narrator, but the spider didn't answer. She was very busy spinning her web. And then they'll talk about another animal, and you will repeat with the narrator, but the spider didn't answer. She was very busy spinning her web. And just keep doing that until you have created a spider web. It doesn't have to look exactly like the one in the book. It's just a chance for you to get to interact with the story. I meant to tell you, you could also draw a spider and put it on your spider web. And then you could also draw a fly, because a fly is going to be caught in that spider web at the end of the story. So listen to the story once. Then when you re-listen to it, try to repeat some of the repeated lines. And then you could actually tell the story to your brothers and sisters, or to your mom and dad, or even just set up some stuffed animals, and you could do your own story time and tell your own version of The Very Busy Spider by Eric Carle. Another activity that you could try is one I've sort of adapted from Storytime Yoga, and I will link to her original post in the video description, but it's called I'm Going to See a Friend of Mine. So there's our letter S in the word see, and you would start off just by clapping. I'm going to see a friend of mine, a friend of mine, a friend of mine. I'm going to see a friend of mine, my, oh my. And then you have to think of different ways to see your friend. So you might decide, if your friend lived next door, you could walk to your friend's house. So let's walk, and you can walk around your living room. I'm going to have to stay in place, but you guys walk around. I'm going to see a friend of mine, friend of mine, friend of mine. I'm going to see a friend of mine, my, oh my. All right, so then you could hop, you could skip, you could run, you could walk backwards to see your friend, but then you need to get creative and think about friends who might not live next door. What if your friend lived across a lake? You might have to swim. So let's do that. You could either swim like this, or you could swim like this, and you can swim around your living room, all right? I'm going to see a friend of mine, friend of mine, friend of mine. I'm going to see a friend of mine, my, oh my. Good job. What if you didn't want to get wet? You might want to get in a boat, so let's row our boat. Ready? I'm going to see a friend of mine, friend of mine, friend of mine. I'm going to see a friend of mine, my, oh my. Now, if you wanted to go in a kayak, you're going to make a slightly different, you're going to use a different sort of motion if you go in a kayak. I don't know exactly how, but you could try going in a submarine. You could also go by car, by train, by plane, by helicopter. There are so many ways you can go to see a friend of mine. So I hope you'll have fun with that. I do want to mention, in a story time, I actually had a child say he wanted to go see a friend of his by riding a dolphin. And we came up with a way to do even that as part of I'm going to see a friend of mine. So I hope you'll have fun with that activity. I'm going to link to a couple more things in the video description. One is I'm going to try to find the song There's a Spider on the Floor. That's all I've got for you today. In the words of Tigger, ta-ta for now.